Hi, everyone. This is Joe Francisca, and welcome to another episode of the All Things Location podcast. In this episode of the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, I want to focus on how marketing is a process, not an art form. Time and again, I've seen geospatial tech companies perform haphazardly in implementing their marketing plans. Fundamentally, the marketing process is a choreographed set of activities whose primary purpose is to drive sales. That's it. You can talk all you want about branding and messaging and personas and target markets. That may all be true, but there's always a but. If you're not bringing opportunities to your sales team, you will be out of a job. You can have the most beautiful PowerPoint slide decks showing the market drivers and the personas. And believe me, I've been guilty of the same thing of creating these slide decks. But if you want to follow one of the many process-driven programs that are out there, that's fine. But don't lose sight of the fact that your sales team needs opportunities and they need to convert those opportunities to sales. I'm a firm believer that tactics drive strategy, and that's a subject for another podcast. But a tactic I like to use is that is a process-driven set of a series of milestones based on an upcoming and planned event. That event could be a trade show or a conference. It can be a webinar or a series of webinars. It could be that you're setting up an executive event in a swanky hotel. I like these elements because they have deadlines. They're not open-ended, pie-in-the-sky things that we say we're going to do, but then we never get around to doing them. And with each of these activities, you do need to support them with the proper messaging and the right takeaways to leave with your customers. The process must have a set time window. For whatever task is at hand, set your milestone within a 30, 60, 90-day window. Develop the process and a plan for execution in that time frame, but no more. Why? Because stuff happens and things change. And if you are a chief marketing officer, designate a staff person who is someone who has demonstrated excellence in discipline and organizational strength to carry you to the finish line. So for this episode, I'll set a case study from a company that indeed had a very well thought out marketing schedule. There were weekly cadence calls, and it looked like things were happening on schedule, and then it all went to hell. The product management VP stepped in and said, we need to take a step back, even before some of the plan had a chance to take effect. We're going to an outside marketing team. Not a great thing to tell your internal team. Then the sales organization stepped in and said, guess what? We're doing a conference in a few weeks, and can you send the 10 by 10 booth this way? And also, can you help us process the leads? This is where I would take issue with the sales team for throwing a wrench into the plan. Is any of this sounding familiar? Because I've heard it more than once. While flexibility is a virtue, patience is not. And the various teams involved failed to exercise the proper restraint and follow the process. So beware of somebody violating this. That's all for this episode of the All Things Location podcast. Remember, knowing where is knowing everything. Thanks. We'll see you next time.